Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Willow Rose Moon Dancer and I make videos here on YouTube about Wicca, and I also have a blog called wiccansaren'twicked.com. Today I thought we would talk about how to celebrate your birthday if you are a Wiccan, or how to help your Wiccan friends celebrate their birthday. So I have this video kind of divvied up into three main sections. One is about rituals, one is about witchcraft / divination, and the third one is about gifts. So we're going to start off with rituals. There are many rituals that you can do for your birthday or someone else's birthday. The most classic ritual that everyone does pretty much, whether you're Wiccan or pagan or Christian or atheist for that matter, is wishing on birthday candles. It is one of the most easiest and most common forms of magic, is wishing on candles and wishing on anything as a whole, wishing on stars, wishing on dandelions, wishing on wish chips. Those are all forms of magic, as you are trying to attract what you want to you, most often by using the law of attraction, which is kind of what wishing is. Not completely, but kind of. But yeah, so that's the big ritual, the main one that everyone does. However, another thing that you could do for your birthday is a dedication ritual. I think dedicating yourself on your birthday is a really beautiful idea. It's really symbolic of being reborn into your spiritual journey. The process of doing a self-dedication is completely dependent on whether or not you're part of a coven or if you're solitary. If you're part of a coven, there will most likely be self-dedication, or not even self-dedication. There would most likely be dedication ritual traditions intact in your coven. And so your options would be probably very limited in what you can do. However, if you are a solitary witch or Wiccan, your options are endless. For me personally, when I do any sort of ritual, I like to do it like very spontaneously. I just like to wing it. I might go online and find a couple ideas that I really enjoy, but for the most part, I just do whatever feels right in the moment. I make sure I have all the things that I may possibly want with me at my altar, and then I just go for it. And I just kind of let myself connect with the universal energy source and do it that way. However, I know personally, back when I first started Wicca, and I know many other people feel this way, especially when they're beginners, is doing things off the cuff is not easy. You feel like you're always doing something wrong, and a lot of people prefer to have a specific outline of what they are going to do. You can find tons of dedication rituals online if you're interested to look that up. However, I will leave just like a very simplistic outline of what I might do when I someday do my self-dedication ritual. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is location. So I would either be in a forest, or even more likely somewhere connected with all four elements. So one example of this is I actually just got back from this place today, but there's this campground that I go to, and it's right alongside a river. So I would go somewhere with a big body of water, whether it be a big river, a lake, an ocean, what have you. And I would have a bonfire in front of me, so I can also connect with the fire that way, and preferably on a light breezy night, breezy to connect with the air element, and at night so I can connect with the moon, because I very much do feel connected with the moon. And then of course I would either have just my feet in the ground or be completely sitting on the ground to ground myself into the earth. And then from there, I would just talk with the universal energy source about what Wicca means to me and how it has affected my life. And then I would talk about my desire to dedicate myself to the path. And I would finish off by thanking the universal energy source and anything else that I had called into my circle, and then I would meditate to end it. And that would be how I would go about it. As for the exact things I would say, I don't have that planned out, but if you're someone who likes to have that planned out, you can either write it ahead of time if you want to do it yourself, or you can look it up online, and I'm sure there's many scripts to go off of on there. So that's my section on rituals. Then we have witchcraft / divination. So one thing that you could definitely do that would be pretty easy is if you're baking a cake for either yourself or someone else, you can put in a little kitchen magic in your birthday cake, really set an intention, use certain ingredients that are going to help foster certain feelings or certain situations for that person. Once again, you can light the candles on this person's cake. In general, from what I've read, most Wiccans don't like to do very self-centered magic. Usually when they do magic, it's because they've tried the mundane things and nothing's working, and it's usually either to help themselves when they genuinely need help, or to help someone else. However, your birthday is all about you, and I think that if you have something that you've been wanting that's a little bit more vain, that you've really wanted to do some magic for, I think that day, your birthday, is definitely the day to do it. Treat yourself, right? And then you can also do divination to see what the year has in store for you. You can do a general reading like that. There's also tons of tarot spreads that you can find on Pinterest. Just one source to find tarot spreads that are all about birthdays. And you can also use any other divine tool. I typically am attracted to tarot just because it's something that I enjoy. But if you want to scry on your birthday, or you want to do a tea leaf reading on your birthday instead, go for it. And just really enjoy yourself. And then the last thing I want to talk about is gifts. So I've divided the gifts into two main sections. Gifts when you have the money to spend to buy someone something, and then gifts when you maybe don't have the money to spend on someone and you need something either inexpensive or free. So if you are up for spending a little bit of money on this person that you are celebrating, you could get them a new book about Wicca or witchcraft, whichever one. You could get them a new altar tool, so maybe you know that they've really wanted a cauldron, or they've really wanted an althame or a wand or something like that. You could go out of your way and purchase one of those for them. If you see a crystal that really speaks to you and really makes you think of this person that you're going to be celebrating, you could get them that crystal, because that's probably a message that they need it. You could help stock up their herb collection, and once you can always ask them if there's anything that they need, because maybe all they need is some incense. Maybe they're just running low on incense or something like that. Asking's always a good idea. For those of you who may not have the money to spend on someone, you could go on a walk and just find things in nature that you think that that person would really appreciate. I know there have been times when my partner or my best friend have gone on a walk, and there was one time my partner, he was running up a hill and a feather just fell from the sky in front of him, and he picked it up and he brought it home for me. There was a time when my partner and our friend went for a walk together, and they found this. This is